Good afternoon and welcome to the July 8th meeting of the Public Safety Legal Administration Committee. I am Andrea Boone, chair of this committee. To my right is the Honorable Amir Faroki. To my left is the Honorable Mary Norwood, the Honorable Antonio Lewis, and the Honorable Matt Westmoreland. May we have a motion to adopt the agenda? Moved by the Honorable Antonio Lewis, seconded by the Honorable Mary Norwood. Please open the vote.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 5 yeas, 0 nays. The agenda has been adopted.
We have been motioned by the Honorable Matt Westmoreland to approve the minutes and seconded by the Honorable Antonio Lewis. Please open the vote.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 5 yeas, 0 nays. The minutes have been approved.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. We would like to ask our summer interns to please stand at this time. These wonderful young interns are from the Atlanta Airport. Welcome to the Atlanta City Hall. This is the public safety meeting. Who is your coordinator? Brittany, will you please come up to the mic and tell us about your interns?
Good afternoon. My name is Brittany Barber. I'm the digital content manager for the marketing department at Hartsfield-Jackson. We have 5 wonderful high school graduates. They are all going to HBCUs in the fall. And they have been extraordinary. They have created content that will live on our Instagram and social media pages for the airport from today on. So I'm just really excited to have them. Thank you.
Thank you all and welcome, and we are looking forward to hearing wonderful and great things about your future, okay? Congratulations. At this time, we have 7 public safety speakers today. Public comment, Reverend Joseph Wheeler.
Honorable Chair, distinguished members of the Public Safety and Legal Administration, I'm Reverend Joseph Wheeler, the acting president for the National Action Network, Henry Clayton County. I reside in Riverdale, Georgia, 1312 Holland-Baker Lane. I'm here to propose that we use ads to stop gun violence. As you know, our Surgeon General has just named gun violence as one of the leading causes of death among our youth. We've been out protesting and doing everything we can to stop gun violence, but we're going to ask the city of Atlanta if they would accept a proposal to use campaign ads like ads on billboards, social media, radio, TV, etc. We want to change attitudes toward guns. We're not attacking the Second Amendment, we're attacking attitudes. We want to change the attitudes toward guns. And we can do this together, and Atlanta can lead the nation. I think Memphis will be happy to hear good news that we are stopping gun violence in Atlanta. We are prepared to work with whoever would like to work with us to get this done. And my number is there, my email address is there. I look forward to working with you. Thank you so much. I marched with your father, by the way, and it's an honor to stand here and address you as well, because he and I marched on a lot of civil rights issues, and I interviewed him before I left ITC. God bless you.
Thank you, Reverend Wheeler. Next speaker, Ms. Honoree Jordan.
Giving honor to the Spirit of God, to everyone that's here. Now, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Hebrews 11, chapter, first verse. Verse 1 is not so much a definition of what faith is as it is a description of what faith does. Some things I speak to you is because my faith in Jesus. Let our faith be in Christ, not our flesh. Woe to him that buildeth his house by unrighteousness, and his chambers by wrong, that useth his neighbor's service without wages, and giveth him not for his work. Jeremiah 22nd chapter 13 verse. As the hatched offspring soon recognized that another type of bird had been sitting on the eggs and so left their false mother. So a man's ill-gotten gain will leave him and he will be shown to be a fool. Righteous gain will bless you and others more than man's ill-gotten gain. Evil produce evil and destruction, James Griffin others. For out of the heart proceed evil thoughts, murders, adulterers, fornications, theft, false witness, blasphemies. Matthew 15, chapter 19, verse. Evil thoughts are evil schemes. Blasphemies refer not only to blasphemy in the modern, narrow senses of the word, but also to criticism or libel of others. Jesus desired for us to be righteous to enter his kingdom. Then sang Moses and the children of Israel this song unto the Lord, and spake, saying, I will sing unto the Lord, for he has triumphed gloriously. The horse and his rider has been thrown into the sea. Exodus 15, chapter 1st verse. The miracle of the Sea of Reeds, God's greatest act of redemption during the Old Testament period. It described not only in narrative prose, but also in lyric poetry. Satan's miracles bring you to destruction, but Jesus' miracle brings you to life, and life more abundantly. To obey Jesus is our greatest weapon against the enemy. We need Christ more than he needs us. We think that we have the greater authority of our actions, but Christ's authority is greater than yours, and he can back it up better than you can back up what you say. Christ cannot lie. We can. We in the flesh. And nobody beats Satan like Jesus can.
Thank you. Ms. Brittany Burns.
Today makes 4 months since I have been in hell. Today makes 4 months since I've lost my daughter, Kari, who was 3 months old. We've been coming here asking, and we're thankful for how you guys have handled us, honestly, we really do. But we've been asking for Kari's cause to have a hearing. The city of Atlanta needs an infant emergency hotline. They need it. This can happen to anybody. Kari was a healthy, happy baby who loved life. I'm sorry. And who really could have done some amazing things. I brought the prototype for her box that the kits come in, if you would like to see it. It would come in a box that has this label at the front. And in the box would be these infant CPR training instructions. On the other side is child training instructions. This is frame easy so that parents can have this near the crib. Then would be these infant CPR kits. This is how small they are. But as you can see, this is very detailed. And this is the vendor we've been using. if any of you are interested in helping us with getting more free CPR trainings to families in Atlanta, we have everything. These 4 months, I can't sit still because it's not right to have a child be intentional about it and then you lose that child. And so I'm doing the best I can. We have her website up so that people can reach out and they can get these kids and they can help us continue to advocate. If any of you would like to see this so that you can consider just having a conversation about the importance of an infant emergency hotline, that would be great. Sudden unexpected infant death can happen to anybody. It's not just some hereditary thing. This is the first in our family and we just trying. Today makes 4 months. 4 months. So please, if I can find the strength to gather all of these resources with just what I have left, I know y'all can talk about this for Atlanta so that there's not other families that come and say, when a mother came to y'all and y'all had the opportunity to just talk about it, why didn't you?
Thank you, Ms. Burns. Next speaker, Pamela Jones.
Good afternoon. I am Brittany's mom and Kari's grandmother. The last time I was here, I couldn't talk. So people don't do, when a tragedy like this happens, we think of the parents, the grandparents go through hell too. And I am 100% behind this initiative. It's so important. I took time off from work to do this today. It's so important. Just discuss it among yourselves. I don't care what anyone says. Yes, death is a natural part of life, but it's nothing natural about losing a healthy, happy, normal 3-month-old baby. First she's here, then she isn't. And when you go through the emergency process of it, all you want to do is get help for that child. We know that maybe 911 needs a little bit of help. With that being said, this kit is going to help until 911 rescue workers can get there. Please consider discussing this amongst yourselves. Today makes 4 months. Every Thursday, I have PTSD because I don't want to go to sleep because it happened on a Friday morning when my daughter called me. Please discuss this amongst yourself. Make this part of the City of Atlanta's legacy for our babies and our toddlers. These kits aren't just for infants, they're also for toddlers, and they're also for adults. No one has to come out of their pocket. If we can designate a 3-digit number for a stranded vehicle on the side of the road, surely we can designate one for babies and toddlers emergencies. That's all I have, and thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, Jody Williams, followed by Margie McLeod.
Good afternoon. I hope y'all make that decision because you know I'm all about children. And we could save people's life. This shouldn't never happen. 911 need to be fixed. The reason why I'm here today is because we got to stop. It's a lurk. We got to stop the radio station. I'm not going to mention the radio station because somebody's calling, housing. And we need to stop this because when I get that information, I believe it's true because a certain the radio station, housing. When you're telling people they got housing, you're putting hope. You're giving them hope. But when I get this information, I tell people, they are giving them a run around. They make phone calls, housing, and they're telling them, if you got 2 spots, 2 vacancies, stop taking these people information. Let them know we just got 2 spots. 10,000 people done applied, but nobody get back with them. How, the mayor, you're over housing. Whoever's giving out the information, make sure when you say you have housing, you have open, and people getting all excited, you're bringing hope. Well, I'm telling you, if you got 2 vacancies, tell them. When you go on the radio, you be telling them, oh, come in, you can apply to call this number. They call the number, they get a runaround. And you heard this before. We didn't even have nothing about what happened to Section 8. Nobody respond back to these people. That's all I'm saying. Stop. When you say you got forced jobs, you got forced housing because you're telling these people you have it, low-income housing, and they apply. You don't have it. On the radio, that radio station go all around the world. So they thinking that. Don't play with these people. This is safety because these people is stressed out. They don't have, they're out there under the bridges and it's high 90 degrees. I usually don't come here on safety, but you know who I am, and I will make sure you need to stop it, whoever's doing it in housing and putting out false information, just like people put false information that you got jobs and you apply for it, it's no jobs. So I'm just telling you, my name means a lot. Your name means a lot. Because when I make phone calls and tell these people, oh, call this number, they call and they're getting a runaround. So find out who is doing this and find out, stop taking these people information when you don't know you don't have housing and you just got 2 vacancies out of 10,000. So what you doing with their information? Stop it.
We have been joined by Vice Chair Dustin Hillis. Next speaker, Ken Roebling, followed by Brother James.
Good afternoon. I'm Ken Roebling, and I think this is the committee that handles fire stations and things like that.
Yes.
I have a question, a couple questions. First of all, I took a look at Fire Station 22. Year and a half after you passed money for that fire station, it's still not open. But it does have a roof on, it's starting to look like a fire station, so maybe by the end of the century it'll be done. But the questions I have happen to concern 24R 3754 and 24R 3755. Now, these 2 resolutions were passed by the Finance Exec Committee, and I thought they should have been passed by this committee. And there were no questions. It passed 14-0. Nobody even bothered to ask some very important questions. Will these fire stations be replaced? The resolution says they're going to be torn down and a new one's going to be built. Do they have a place to replace these on? Or are they going to be out of service until they get built? If it's anything like Fire Station 22, those people in those areas are not going to have much support. And why didn't you cover this? since it is part of the Safety Committee's responsibility, why let the Finance Exec Committee do it? Well, those are my two questions, my 2 minutes worth. Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, we will have our crime update and, oh, okay. We have been joined by Jody Williams. Excuse me, let Jody go first. Jody Williams.
Thank you for allowing me to speak. Speaking of safety, you know, the women and children are outside at the Restorations House on Ethel Street because they have nowhere to live, and their safety is at risk. They have their children outside in the rain waiting for shelter. They don't know when the shelter is doing intake because they don't do it every day. And so we need to do something about this. We need to find out where the money is going for the homeless people, because you got families outside on the street. I'm talking about women and children. Do we really care about our people? Something must be done. Safety. Help these people, put them in places, you know, you got the money, you tore down the housing projects, build apartments that's affordable. And when I say affordable, I don't mean that these people can pay $1,800 for a rent. I'm talking about something really affordable based on the housing projects, see, because everybody don't stay down. Housing projects were a step up where people came out of those places and became great. So I just ask you guys to try to help these people and let us know where this money is going that the mayor is saying is for homeless people, because from my watch, I go to Gateway often, been going there since January, and none of these people are being helped. And the 2 Peachtree, that's just a scam, you know. So you guys need to try to help your people. You know, don't let these little children be on the street dying because they're soaking wet for weeks. Do something. Help us help the people. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Jody. Chief Harper, crime update and legislation. And I also see Major Clay. Major Clay, thank you for being with us today. Zone 4 Commander.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, distinguished council. Before I get started, I'm going to let Major Clay from the illustrious Zone 4.
Yeah, thank you. I'm Major Antonio Clay of D Zone 4, and I just wanted to come and personally thank each council member for the condolence letters for my grandmother's passing. It meant a lot to me, and I wanted to say it in person. Councilmember Bunn, Councilmember Boone, Westmoreland, Councilmember Winston, Amos, Dozier, Shook, Hillis, Overstreet, and Antonio Lewis. I really appreciate that. So now I'm back, Code 7, and call me if you need me.
Thank you, Major Clay. You mean so much to our community. You are always on the front line, answering your phone and showing up for those that are in need. Thank you so much for all you do, and you are in our prayers. Thank you.
Major Clay learned from the best when we were in Zone 4 as officers together, so I'm going to take credit for everything that he did. So I just want to report out for the Atlanta Police Department overall. We're looking good for this current month. We're down 1%, which is a big deal since we start off in double-digit above at the beginning of the year. So getting down below 1% is really good. One of the biggest reductions we want to talk about is the crimes against persons, which is down 13%. Specifically, aggravated assaults are down 14%. So I know there's been a few crimes in the news lately that have got a lot of attention, but we're still knocking it down, and we're putting a lot of effort into that. On that note, with the 2 13-year-olds that were shot on Spark Street, that Crime Stoppers reward is now up to $50,000. So if anybody has any information that leads to it, if you're watching council, please feel free to give that. $50,000 is the current number for that. Moving on, we're looking at our auto crimes. We're bringing that down. I know it was on the news quite a bit. Our auto crimes specifically are down for every zone. In some zones are showing 2 double-digit numbers down for the current week or the 28-day period. So we're feeling pretty encouraged about that. We're moving forward with a lot of initiatives on the department. We have our summer plan in place now. A lot of that stuff, I have the Community Services Division, which is the COPS unit, the Special Operations Section in the airport. So we have a lot of support that we do for our regular 911 officers to assist with any crime reduction efforts. You have any questions about anything?
Do we have any questions or concerns from any members? Chief, I would like to get information later on the homicide at the Peyton Place Southwest. It happened 2 Saturdays ago. If I could get more information on that in the next couple of days.
Yes, ma'am, I'm
well.
familiar. Major Clay and I were just speaking about that. So we do have a pretty good update I think you should have.
Okay. And do we have any information on the crime scene technician legislation that was introduced?
Yes, we have reviewed the resolution, so we're looking at it now with the executive team and seeing what efforts we can do to support that. It will be a little bit of a financial undertaking, so once we review it, we'll come back to council and see what kind of movement we can get on that.
So does this mean presently when there's a crime scene, we do not have technicians that clean up
There are
the blood, et cetera?
No, there are private companies that do that, and the resolution is looking for contractors to be hired by the city to do that.
Is that in place right now or no?
No, there's companies that are out there that do that. So if it happens at, say, an apartment complex, that apartment management company will go out and contact one of the private vendors that do that now. And the only thing the legislation, the resolution that looks like it's different, will be that they're contracted to the city.
So if that happens at someone's home, what happens?
It's the same process, ma'am, where that person will have to reach out there. They can just do a Google search for a crime scene cleanup. There are several bonded companies that meet all the requirements. I think the only difference that we're looking for the resolution is they'll be on contract with the city. So then we would provide the information to those individuals.
So they would have to call themselves? That's not something that we handle?
No, it's not.
That's something that we definitely need to speak with you all about. That's concerning to several members of the community.
Yeah, I understand.
Thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Any other questions or concerns? Thank you, Chief. Next, Atlanta Fire and Rescue Department quarterly update. Chief LeMac-Lamore.
Afternoon, Council. I will be in place of Chief Smith this afternoon, delivering our quarterly update and year-end report. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. First off, I'm gonna talk about the goals and objectives for Atlanta Fire and Rescue. Providing the safest possible work environment for all members, all recruitment and hiring needs are met, and continued focus on AFRD initiatives, enhancements, and accomplishments. For City Council, maintain competitive compensation for AFRD members, regularly review and monitor AFRD's emergency services that are provided to the City of Atlanta, and regularly review the condition and needs of AFRD fleet.
Chief, 1 second. I do want to be concerned about our constituents at home.
Oh,
To see if we could take a couple of minutes to see if Mr. Arnold could get us up and going. Our constituents watch these meetings
I'm
regularly.
sorry.
That's okay.
I know everybody's on a time constraint, so I just checked.
We are not.
Okay, we're good. Okay, all right.
I think he just needs a couple of more minutes. If you all would be patient. Thank you. See, that only took 2 minutes.
Okay.
Thank you, Chief. Please proceed.
All right. So I was ending up with City Council and regularly reviewed the conditions of needs of AFRD fleet and facilities. Do I have control to the next one? Okay. All right. So next, total calls for service for fiscal year to date 2024. We had a total of 94,000 calls, 901. It's broken down. ARF calls, 171. Bomb threats, 1. EMS-related calls, 60,149. Fire-related calls, 21,361. Hazmat calls, 769. Jet fuel spilled, 103. And other are 9,798. And technical service calls, 2,549. This is a total combination between aviation and downtown response. Also, as we look at year to date and June, comparing June of 23 and June of 24, we saw an uptick in EMS related calls. Structure fires were down for the month. Hazmat relatively stayed the same. Technical rescue calls continue to stay about the same. And other services, still about the same, 4.2% change, but they're about the same. Total calls were 87,943. And then comparing month by month, 7136 for the June of 23 and 7568 for June of 24, which was about a 6% increase. So downtown, our downtown metrics for total situation found, EMS continues close. For June of 23, it was 2,278. Moving over to June of 24 was 2,512, about a 10% change. Structure fire was 65 in June of 23, 65 calls, down to 48 in 24, which was a reduction. Hazmat calls, 23 was 152, and of 24, 161, relatively the same. Technical rescue, as I stated earlier, continuing the same. And other services, 3543 for 23, and June of 24, 3,853. So from last year's June to this year June, we had about an 8% rise in calls. So when we talk about situations found, it's in detail. This slide breaks it down in detail for downtown. As you can see, from June of 23, there were a total of 2,278 in 23, and in 24, it was a total of 2,512. Which was a 10% increase for the year of 24 in June. Other services saw a slight uptick for 3,543 for 23 in June and 3,853 in 24 of June, which was an 8% uptick. And as you can see, we had a total of 8.9% uptick for situations found from 642 to 6,577. Next, our service metrics for aviation. These are all calls out at Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport. As you can see, in 23 of June, we were at 582, and June of 24, we were at 632, which is about a 7% rise in calls for the month of June comparative. Structure fire, they had one structure fire call in 24. Hazmat calls were slightly down, going from 38 in 23 of June to 28 in June of 2024, which was a decrease in 26%. No technical rescue calls, and then other service calls went from 470 in 23 down to 330 in 24. And that gives us a total of 1,094 in 23, down to 991 in 24, which was a decrease of 9%. So as we look at the next slide, breaks out the total situations found for each call. As you can see, again, EMS, comparative June of 23, we're at 586 calls in June of 24 to 632, which is up about 7.8%. And we go to other services. We've gone from 470 in June of 23 down to 330 in June of 24, which was a decrease in almost 30%. Next, I will move to recruitment and hiring. As you can see, for this fiscal year to date, we had a total of 2,150 applications submitted for firefighter recruit, 242 for EMT paramedic firefighter recruit positions, 152 for prior experience, which gave us a total of 2,554 total applications submitted. Through the process, those that were rejected, applicants withdrew was a total of 1,964. So in fiscal year 24, we made a total of 112 offers, 100 for firefighter recruits, 2 for EMT paramedic firefighter recruits, and 10 for prior experience, giving us a total of 112. And as of June 30th of 24, we hired a total of 91 recruits, 1 EMT paramedic firefighter recruit, 6 prior experienced firefighters, giving us a total of 98. Next, we'll talk about community engagement. This past month of June, the Atlanta Fire Rescue Department participated in cooling centers, attended NPU meetings, attended the LGBTQ luncheon, participated in popsicles in the park, water main break water distribution, which was big, senior citizens resources drop, participated in seniors annual white cookout, was involved with the HelloFresh meal kit distribution, and a smoke alarm blitz. Total of 69 events, and total number of citizens served and touched was 6,745. All right, next, just wanted to talk about our ACERT team, which is the Atlanta Community Emergency Response Team. It's a free 7-week program, prepares citizens on how to respond to emergencies and disasters. They also work community events, and volunteer opportunities are always available to assist first responders. We just graduated our cohort class 24-1, just completed their basic training, and we also have an upcoming class in September, and the QR code is there for those that want to attend. Next, our summer youth employment program. I guess I should have brought them with me, but they were busy. So we have a total of, we have 9 interns that are working in the office with us, and we have 19 cadets. So the interns are, working in workplace skills, working with our IT people, our fiscal people, kind of learning those particular roles. And then we have those that are on the cadet side are learning more about the fire service, hands-on training and dealing with live demonstrations. And also all of them, they're attending a live burn, professional development workshops, ride-alongs. They've done a correction site visit, EMS station visit, and they are engaged in our food distributions, cooling centers, and community blitz. And also they will be participating in our next AFRD APD active shooter drill. All right, so now the fiscal year 24 recent accomplishments. We just completed a facility enhancement on the first floor of Public Safety Headquarters. We've distributed water during the water main break crisis. We graduated our first ACERT class in May, provided support for City of Atlanta cooling centers, hosted Fox 5 Wednesday's Child Honorary Fire Chief Sammy. That was really touching. I hope some of you all, if you got a chance to see it or go back and watch it, it was truly touching. He had a nice time and he was embraced, and it was touching, very touching. We've had 7 AFRD members that graduated from the Mayor's Office of Equity, Diversity and Inclusion, Equity Ambassadors in June of 2024. We've also secured through the Atlanta Fire Foundation 2 Rivian electric vehicles to serve as AFRD quick response units delivering emergency services throughout the city of Atlanta. Also on the horizon, we have fleet and facility enhancements. Our Safe Spots initiative is Safe Place Off the Streets, and our ACERT cohort 24, class 24-2 will be beginning in September of 24. We started our Fire Corps initiative where we bring back retired firefighters to kind of stay engaged with the department, and we will be graduating a recruit class on 7/15/2024. And with that, any questions?
Any questions from my colleagues? The Honorable Mary Norwood.
Yes, I went to the Fire Foundation update this morning, and my question was, and I will pose it to you now because they told me they didn't have the answer. The 2 fire stations, one north side in my district and one south side, are going to be completely redone, torn down and reconstructed. So I'm fire station 26. And 2 questions. Number 1, the budget allocation was $13 million, and for both of these stations, mine and the south side one, and then they have now come in at 14.5, so it's another $1.5 million. So I want to know where that $1.5 million is coming from. That's my first question. And the second is, where are the fire personnel going to be during the demolition and construction? What is the temporary location? If you don't have either of those answers now, I'd like to get those from you if I could.
I can't speak on the money aspect of it, but I can tell you that once the demolition starts, more than likely we will look at the metrics of the call volume, but in the past, the truck will go to Station 8, which is on Marietta Boulevard, and the engine, I'm not quite sure where the engine, they may go to 26. Yeah, or 27, depending. Those are the 2 closest. 27 or 21. Mm-hmm.
And those are located where?
21 is on Roswell Road, and 27 is on Northside Parkway. Yeah.
Okay. Got it. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions or concerns from my colleagues? The Honorable Matt Westmoreland.
Not a question for the presentation so much as a comment for Ms. Norwood. I can't find it on the document that I'm looking at right now, but I believe we set aside $39 million in contingency in the infrastructure bond project list for things that went over budget.
Good. Okay, thank you.
All right. Any other questions or concerns? So, Chief, this morning we had a very good presentation with the Atlanta Fire Foundation and Mr. Teo Swin, and they did show us some of the newer living quarters that will be coming to some of our fire stations, and they were very modern and look wonderful. So we are excited about seeing those as well.
And thank you all for supporting it. Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Would you introduce your other colleagues to us?
I have with me Deputy Chief Harris, who...
Please stand.
Please stand, yeah.
Chief Derek Harris, Field Operations.
Right. Yeah, he's in charge of the operations downtown. We have...
Assistant Chief
in our Tech Services Division. Inspections, permits and education, community affairs. He covers all that.
Thank you. Thank you. Any other questions or concerns? Chief, if you would let Ms. Nash know, we certainly appreciate all of the support that she has been giving us throughout the coming months. Last month as well, it was extremely hot outside, and they came in and the red shirts were there and really did a wonderful job at several community events. So this presentation was well done. Again, thank you very much.
Have a good evening.
Thank you. Mr. Johnson?
Yes, Madam Chair, that takes us to our consent agenda. And we have a motion to take favorable claims 1 through 7, reserving 8 through 10.
Moved by the Honorable Matt Westmoreland, seconded by the Honorable Vice Chair Dustin Hillis. Please open the vote.
The vote is open. Would everyone please vote? The vote is closed. 5 yeas, 0 nays. The favorable claims from 1 through 7 are approved. Madam Chair, item number 8 requires an amendment. The amendment corrects a typo in the year.
Moved by the Honorable Matt Westmoreland, seconded by the Honorable Vice Chair Dustin Hillis. Please open the vote.
One moment. The vote is open. The vote is closed. 5 yeas, 0 nays. This item is amended. Item number 8, 24R 3723, for property damage alleged to have been sustained as a result of driving over a metal plate in the road on March 14, 2024 at 2715 Lenox Road Northeast, Department of Watershed Management /6, $3,786.58. Number 35545, claim of Tracy Green, 5461 Walker Road, Stone Mountain, Georgia, 30088. Madam Chair, items number 9 and 10 require an amendment. The amendment corrects the date of the incident.
Moved by the Honorable Matt Westmoreland, seconded by the Honorable Vice Chair Dustin Hillis. Please open the vote.
One moment. Madam Chair, can you repeat the mover and the seconder?
The Honorable Matt Westmoreland, seconded by the Honorable Vice Chair Dustin Hillis.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 5 yeas, 0 nays. These items are amended. Item number 9, 24R 3727, for property damage alleged to have been sustained as a result of stormwater flooding incident on September 14, 2023 at 620 Ferry Street, Department of Watershed Management /4, $1,525.00, number 35544, claim of Demario Waters, 15 Sundrop Court, Covington, Georgia, 30016. Item number 1024R 3729, for property damage alleged to have been sustained as a result of stormwater flooding incident on September 14, 2023 at 234 Centennial Drive, Department of Watershed Management /4, $1,000.00, number 35562, claim of Deshay Pass, 3692 Oregon Trail, Decatur, Georgia, 30032.
Motion to approve, seconded by the Honorable Matt Westmoreland. Please open the vote.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 5 yeas, 0 nays. These approved claims have been favorably amended. Madam Chair, this takes us to our adverse claims. We will need a motion to adverse the unfavorable claims.
I'll make a motion to adverse the unfavorable claims 10 through 25, seconded by the Honorable Matt Westmoreland. Please open the vote.
Madam Chair, it should be 11 through 25.
Okay, 11 through 25. I'll make a motion to adverse the unfavorable claims 11 through 25, seconded by the Honorable Matt Westmoreland. Please open the vote.
Excuse me, Madam Chair, that will be 11 through 47.
That's what I was going to.
She, the Honorable Mary Norwood would like to pull off item number 37?
37.
Item 37. Can we take item 37 first?
Yes.
Motion to hold item 37.
The vote is open.
Let's read that item, please. Item 37.
Item 30, number 37, 24R3811, for property damage alleged to have sustained as a result of a sanitary sewer incident on July 3rd, 2023 at 4616 Tall Pines Drive Northwest, Department of Watershed Management /4, number 35750, claim of Robert Herber and Gail Herber, 4616 Tall Pines Drive Northwest, Atlanta, Georgia 30327.
This item will be held. The Honorable Mary Norwood was the mover. The second was the Honorable Amir Faroki. Please open the vote.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 5 yeas, 0 nays. This item is held in committee. Madam Chair, we will take items 11 through 47 with the exception of item number 37 to adverse the rest of the unfavorable claims.
Motion to adverse. Seconded by the Honorable Mary Norwood. Please open the vote.
One moment. The vote is open. The vote is closed. 6 yeas, 0 nays. The unfavorable claims have been adversed. This takes us to Section H, ordinance for first reading, item number 124-01389, an ordinance by Public Safety and Legal Administration Committee authorizing the mayor or his designee to correct Resolution 21R4301 adopted by the Atlanta City Council on December 6, 2021, and approved pursuant to City Charter Section 2-403 on December 15, 2021, for the purpose of exercising the first renewal of contract number listed herein, sergeants and lieutenants promotional testing on behalf of the Atlanta Police Department to correct the authorized renewal payment terms. All contract work will be charged to and paid from the accounts listed herein and for other purposes. This takes us to our regular agenda, Section I, ordinance for second reading. Item number 224-01367, an ordinance by Councilmember Andrea L. Boone, authorizing the mayor or his designee to accept a donation on behalf of the Atlanta Police Department from the Atlanta Police Foundation of two 24 Ford E45 Super Duty cutaways valued at approximately $268,800.00 to be accepted as a donation as of June 17th, 2024 for use as transportation of employees during special events throughout the city of Atlanta and for other purposes.
Motion to approve. Seconded by the Honorable Dustin Hillis. Please open the vote.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 6 yeas, 0 nays. This item is favorable. Item number 3, 240-1370, An ordinance by Councilmember Byron D. Amos to amend Chapter 146, Taxation of the City of Atlanta Code of Ordinances so as to create Article 5 to be titled Blighted Property to impose a tax increase on property owners neglected properties contributing to blight and for other purposes.
Honorable Mary Norwood.
Yes, Madam Chair. I think we should hold this. I think there's some work that needs to be done in rewriting a section to acknowledge a difference between owner-occupied with a homestead exemption versus a vacant non-owner-occupied residence. So my motion would be to hold for one cycle time certain.
The Honorable Matt Westmoreland.
My first question was going to be if there was someone from the administration here to talk, just both to address that point and then talk about the project overall.
We have been joined by the Honorable Michael Julian Bond.
Hello, council members. My name is Chanel Zeisel. I'm the Director of Housing Policy for the Mayor's Office. So in response to that concern, Councilmember Norwood, the ordinance actually does not apply to occupied homes. So you can only apply what we're calling the blight tax, really it's an ad valorem increase to vacant property. And then it is also the case that each property, this tool is really very much something we view in the administration's toolbox as it is a scalpel and not a widespread tool. And the reason for that is that you have to bring a superior court case for each and every property that you want to designate for the increased ad valorem. And one of the prerequisites for that is that the property is indeed vacant. So it would never apply to an owner-occupied home.
So I didn't see that in the reading of the ordinance. Is it because of the code section itself that makes sure that it cannot be owner-occupied?
That is my understanding.
Okay. Well, then I will withdraw my motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Moved by the Honorable Matt Westmoreland.
I want to make a motion to amend to add my name to this paper.
If you would like your name added, please raise your hand at this time. Can y'all see the names? Raise them high. The Honorable Michael Julian Bond, the Honorable Amir Faroki, the Honorable Andrea Boone, Dustin Hillis, Antonio Lewis, and Matt Westmoreland. We all would like our names added to this paper. And thank you to the Mayor's Office and the Honorable Byron D. Amos of District 3.
Madam Chair, we need a second.
The Honorable Dustin Hillis.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 6 yeas, 0 nays. This item is amended. 7 yeas, 0 nays. This item is amended.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson.
Madam Chair, we need to approve as amended.
Motion to approve by the Honorable Matt Westmoreland, seconded by the Honorable Andrea Boone. Please open the vote.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 7 yeas, 0 nays. This item is favorable as amended. Item number 424-01376, an ordinance by Councilmember Alex Wan to amend Chapter 10 alcoholic beverages of the City of Atlanta Code of Ordinances and for other purposes. And Madam Chair, the sponsor requests that this item be held.
Motion to hold, second by the Honorable Matt Westmoreland. Please open the vote.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 7 yeas, 0 nays. This item is held in committee. This takes us to our Section J resolutions. Item number 524R3763, a resolution by Council members Andrea L. Boone, Dustin Hillis, and Michael Julian Bond to establish a crime scene cleanup program in the City of Atlanta and a vendor pool of professional, licensed, and registered trauma scene waste management and cleanup services and for other purposes.
Move approval. Second. Second by the Honorable Michael Julian Bond. Please open the vote.
vote is open. The vote is closed. 7 yeas, 0 nays. This item is favorable. Item number 624R3822, a resolution by Public Safety and Legal Administration Committee authorizing the mayor as designated to execute the Fourth and Third Amendment to agreements listed herein on call post certified officers with Cloverhurst, Aaron Joint Venture, and Metropolitan Security Associates, respectively, on behalf of the City of Atlanta to add the Atlanta Department of Transportation as an authorized user for services under the agreement and to add funding in amount not to exceed $550,000.00. All contracted work will be charged to and paid from the fund, department, organization, and account numbers listed herein and for other purposes.
Move approval. Second by the Honorable Michael Julian Bond. Please open the vote.
The vote is open. Will everyone please vote? The vote is closed. 7 yeas, 0 nays. This item is favorable. Madam Chair, that concludes our agenda for this afternoon.
Do we have any comments for today? This meeting is adjourned.